Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial I will be showing you how to use Maproom and Greeble to create a fake cityscape. So first what you would want to do is open up your Maproom. Once Maproom is open, you go to OpenStreetMap and Satellite. Select the Maps in Scene Maproom OpenStreetMap Satellite. Find your location by name under map space. This can be anywhere in the world. I'm going to go with Footscray. Whoops, that's fine. Footscray, there we go. Update your space. You can change your map projection. I'm not going to. First, what I'm going to do, just so that I can have a bit of an idea of where I'm working, is go into terrain and quickly create a map. I'm going to make the map size 5 by 5 because Footscray is quite a smaller area, but I want the pixels to be quite high so that it's a more detailed map. It's also changed the zoom level to 16. Change your image source. I'm going to keep it at OSM. Update your map image. Once your map image has loaded, you can see that you have a map of Footscray. So with this map now as a guide, I'm going to go to OSM, change the area width to 5 by 5 to match my map. Keep the OpenStreetMap type in layer, and I want to create the buildings, and that's all. So I just go download and draw OSM data. So once that's loaded, you can see that I have all of the outlines of the buildings that are in the Footscray area. I'm just making sure none of them have gone off the map. When you change your map width in the OSM data to match the size of the map, you won't get any of the data that's still in Footscray that's out of the map. So it kind of just constrains it to the area that you've selected. So that's a good tip to collecting the necessary data. So with this now, I'm going to move Maproom out of the way. So I'm going to open my layers. And when I have my layers shown, I'm going to select all of the buildings. So if I open that, you can see that this selects the buildings that are within the view. And this is all the buildings that are modeled. So I'm going to click the first one, shift, scroll to the bottom, select the last one, and that will select all of them. Oh, we've missed some of them. So sometimes this does happen. It depends on how they've saved as layers. So you can see that these ones are now in height. So then perhaps you select all of the height ones, which are obviously the Footscray city center one. So maybe we'll just model these for now, because they might create a better pattern for us to see. So with all of those selected, we then go over to our properties panel and we open modify, and in the modifiers list you want to select Greeble. So Greeble is a plugin, and if you don't have it, it is found at this link, and you just select the version that best suits the version of 3ds Max that you've got, and they've got all of the updated versions. So back with 3ds Max with your Greeble parameters. As you can see on the side, we have many different things we can do. So the first things first, you can see that the buildings are extremely tall, and we don't want that. So we go and change the maximum height to something more suitable. I'm going to change mine to 30 meters. change the minimum height as well to maybe 5 meters. And then as you can see, they're still quite tall, and that will be because in your widgets, you've still got quite a high minimum and maximum height. So the widgets are like, as you can see, this is the building, and then this tall one that you can see is your widget. The widget is like a growth or a secondary building on top of your building. So it kind of looks like a podium tower. So if I change my widget maximum height to 10, then all of the widgets will shrink. And now I have all of these buildings at multiple different heights with different widgets, secondary forms on top of the buildings around Footscray. You can also change the size of the widget. So I want the minimum size to maybe be 10 and the maximum size to be 30, and that will change the size of them. So you can see they have shrunk quite a bit, just depends on what you want exactly. The density you can change so that it's maybe more dense of a widget on top. I'll change mine to 5. And now there's more widgets on top of the buildings. And then these 5 different panels you can select and deselect for what kind of pattern of widget you want on top. So whether you want it to just be like a single or 2 widgets. I'm going to keep them all selected because it creates many different patterns on top. And then with this, you can do also in the top generate form where it says seeds, you can change the seeds, and it's not necessary, but you can change the seeds and it will also change the output of the different buildings. So it could be many different, obviously, because this is just calculated and designed something random. If you change your seeds, it will randomize it further. And this works on anything you can Greeble any form. So just to show you a Greeble of any form, we'll deselect that. We'll go back to create. We'll create a box. Just a normal box. And then with that selected, we will go back into modifiers list and we will select Greeble again. And it has Greebled the box. Now, again, it's in very crazy settings. So we change the max height to something more suitable. And now we've got a different Greeble going. We can change the widgets, maximum height to 20 maybe. And it hasn't really made much of a difference in this context. But obviously when you play around with the settings, you can make it more textured. It can be like a city on top of the box, and then you've got a 3D city. So Greeble is a really interesting tool to use in this sense, and it's also very useful, especially if you don't have a OSM data, then you can just create it and create a fake cityscape. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope it helped. Thanks for watching.